Hey, what's happening, everybody? Yours truly, comedian Mike Marino, bringing it to you live once again, live from my mother's basement. I'm very excited to be down here again. I haven't been in the basement in quite some time. I'm sorry, everybody. I know a lot of people have been calling me going, where the hell are you? How come you're not doing anything live from the basement? But I've been on tour. I've been on such an unbelievable ride, comedy tour. And for you people that have been coming to my live events, I can't thank you enough. And you know that that's the reason why I haven't been on, because the crowds are just coming in the thousands. And right off the top of my head, thank you, everybody in Boca Raton, Florida. We just sold out the Raz Room inside the Meisner Park Theater Center, which is a very, very prestigious theater. I was so happy to perform there. I wore slacks. I didn't wear jeans. I tried to keep it clean, but I was a little on the edge. But thank you, everybody, for coming. I'm happy to be down here in the basement because I got a very special guest. We're going to get to talk to him and what's going on in his career and who this devil is. Happens to be a nice Italian brother from New Jersey as well. And he's never been on the show. He's very excited to be here in my real mother's basement with all these bottles of great tasting vodka and a lot of different gems that we're going to taste. I'm drinking beer as usual. But right now, look at this. Everybody's already writing in just as fast, and I got to love it. And I love to do shout outs. But look at Jimmy the Greek from Woodbridge says hi. Well, hey, Jimmy the Greek, how you doing? It's nice to see you. Lori, nice to see you. And Wanda, thank you so much for writing me today, Wanda. I will definitely do the show at Rider College. In fact, when I introduce this gentleman, you're going to want him on your show too. This is Wanda. She has a great radio podcast from Rider College. All the kids listen to the show. And as you can see on the right, look at all the people writing in already just as fast on Facebook. There you go. See? Well, listen, without further ado, a longtime friend of mine, colleague in the industry of acting and the stand-up world, I finally had a moment to have him stop what he's doing because he's always busy, come down to the basement while I'm here in New Jersey and be on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jimmy Palumbo.
Hey, man, what's happening, everybody? How we doing? Hey, this house is a piece of work.
This is great.
It really is like a vintage. It's unbelievable. I mean, you know, I'm not even in show business. I just put the drop ceiling in upstairs.
He looks like the guy who he looks like the guy that would put in the drop ceiling.
Oh, you got stuff from the Jersey Shore here, from shore houses from years ago. I was in a shore house for a couple of years, 15. And so we both did that whole Manasquan, Belmar, Point Pleasant tour.
I was Belmar, he was Manasquan. That's a very Jersey thing, but that's back in the day when the Jersey Shore was the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, not like it's,
no.
I like the kids today running around.
The kids today. Finally, we're at that age where it's saying the kids today. Because then again, when we were acting like knuckleheads down on the Jersey Shore, our parents were going, "These kids today, they don't even know how good they got it."
We did the same stupid stuff. Just different booze, different alcohol.
Is this your friend over here, Bobby Cristiano?
Yeah, Bobby Cristiano's in the house.
Hey, Bobby Cristiano, thank you for writing into the show, and thank you for watching me with your friend, Jimmy Palumbo, live from my mother's basement, bringing you guys some great, stellar comedy, news. We might even do the weather if we care, and telling you about what's going on in the world of comedy and so on and so forth. So right now we got Nancy. Hi, Nancy Fogno. Was wondering, why didn't you wear jeans Saturday night? Well, hey, I'm trying to go upscale, so I bought some nice slacks.
He's not wearing any pants right now, though. He did that just for me.
Yeah, that's why his hand, well, never mind. All right, this is really, really great. Thank you so much, Wanda, and thank you for writing in, everybody. A long time ago, when I got into the acting world, when I started going from here in New Jersey, Scotch Plains, to New York City, I would ride the bus, go on commercial auditions day in and day out and try to get into the business. Some success, then failure, then success, then failure. Then you get into the comedy world. I used to see this guy going into the city as well. And he was reading for the same things I was reading for, or let's say auditioning for. Reading might be an inside word.
Yeah. Now we both read for a show called The Tale of Two Foreheads.
Yes. You put the heads together and make a great ass. Hey. But anyway, so I used to see Jimmy all the time, whether it was on the bus or on the subway. We couldn't wait to get into the city and throw our hat in the ring and see if we couldn't be part of what was going on in the world. And then I went out to Los Angeles. Then when I was out in Los Angeles for quite some time, then I saw Jimmy in Los Angeles.
I saw you do stand-up. I was doing sketch comedy at the time with some NBC stuff and some other stuff. Who told live on tape? I went to go see Mike do stand-up, and I was like, oh man, he's really good. He's really good. And then we had a mutual friend, and so blah blah blah. We ended up even chatting even more, and it's been a pleasure to be along for this crazy ride in the business of show alongside you.
And one of the greatest things is he was doing, let's say, Jersey humor, Italian humor that I loved, and it made me laugh. And we became friends. We started doing some shows together.
I was literally for the first time. I went from doing 7 to 10 minutes, and you took me to Corona, California, to a Mexican restaurant.
Yes.
You drove out there, and I was trying to play it cool, like, yeah, I can do a half hour. I had 8 minutes to my name. And I went up there, and I still have it on audio tape. I have that show. I did 27 minutes, of which probably only 8 to 9 was very good, but the other stuff I got through. But I got to give him credit. He hired me first middle.
Back in the day, when we used to get in the car and drive an hour to make $10 or even get a sandwich, was actually a lot of fun. I kind of miss those days, and it was nice to know that I was actually doing this type of work with an Italian kid from New Jersey. Right now, let's do a quick shout out. That's Nico. See, Nico writes into the show all the time. He's a great guy. It's nice to see you, Nico. Thank you so much. I'd love to say hello to everybody, but it's coming in a little too fast. There's Mark out there in Toronto, Canada. We got some friends from Yugoslavia. How you doing? And also Texas. Thank you, Texas. It's nice to see you.
I'm very big in Yugoslavia.
Yeah. All his movies start in Yugoslavia and they end right there in Yugoslavia.
I go to the airport, I get mobbed.
Look at everybody writing in. I really miss New Jersey. And then there's some people who actually, I can take their phone call right now. I can't do that because sometimes I come from the old school, and I know Jimmy comes from the old school too. We answer that phone, and it's a 14-year-old kid. Everybody watching this show knows that 14-year-old kids are dressed, so we're not going to do that. You know this shit? It's unbelievable. The kids today get away with things we never got away with, but I'm not a parent. I have 2 nieces. I can tell you right now, I don't mess around. I see something that I don't like, I'm taking care of it. Because I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, my neighbors would beat the shit out of us, and that was okay. And then my father would say, well, why are you getting your ass kicked from them? Then he kicked your ass again. Now you get your ass kicked from your own parents, you got to go to jail. They got to go to jail. So, kids today. I never thought I'd say that, kids today.
Years ago, it was different.
Yeah. Well, before we go any further into this great conversation that we're going to have, and everybody's going to be listening to us on ddvradio.com, ItalianAmericanRadio.com, and also we're going to be on iTunes, SoundCloud, and right here on these 2 channels. Jimmy decided he was going to have a nice glass of vodka on ice, and I'm having a nice chilled beer. So if you wouldn't mind, grab the drink that you have and the bottle too.
There's Devotion Vodka.
He's drinking Devotion Vodka. Put it right up there. One of the original sponsors of Mike Marino Live on Tour. Finally, somebody came over and said, I'll have a glass of Devotion Vodka, and it happened to be Jimmy. So cheers.
Cheers on you.
Boom.
And the Edelman's in the house.
Yeah. So we got that going on. Now listen, folks. Not only is Jimmy a great stand-up comedian, and he and I are going to be doing many shows together, again, live. Jimmy is a great actor. He's been in a lot of movies. Sometimes in this world of entertainment, I'd say there's a jealousy. There's always going to be a jealousy or an envy. But Jimmy here is in a movie with Robert De Niro. Now he's laughing, but who wouldn't kill to smell this man's breath in the morning saying, good morning, let's get ready for the scene? I would call everybody. Oh, excuse us. It's not Robert De Niro, it's Bobby. So let's just start this conversation off by the question everybody here is wanting to know. A, what's the name of the movie? How did you get the part? And what was it like to be in a movie on set working with the legend, Robert De Niro?
I was in, it was a movie called The Family. Shot in France for 6 weeks.
You were in France?
6 weeks. And I got to have dinner in a room half the size of this basement with 6 tables. And it was either De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer, Tommy Lee Jones, Dominic Lombardozzi, Diana Agron from Glee. And so every night you sat and they provided food for you. It was on this big mansion in the middle of nowhere in France, about 25 minutes, half hour north of Paris. And after a while, you were sitting there, hey, Bob, pass the cheese, you got wine. And every night we broke bread together. He's the sweetest guy in the world. Michelle Pfeiffer was a doll. Tommy Lee Jones, a piece of work. He made me laugh. He's a hard ass a little bit, but he's out of his mind. He called me a Yankee. He's a Texas boy. We had laughs with him too. It was a thrill of a lifetime to work with those guys. And Bob, at the premiere, I wanted to make sure that he met my father who passed away last year. And they gave him a big hug. He hugged my mother. My father busted his balls saying you should do Broadway. So my father got to meet Robert De Niro, which really is even more important than he meeting Robert De Niro. So it was a thrill of a lifetime. I'll never forget it.
I can't believe it. And this is one of the most incredible conversations. Anybody who's Italian who aspires to be Robert De Niro, the legend himself, in every incredible award-winning movie out there, you're getting a nice big hello from Stacy Campbell.
Hey, Stace, what's happening?
Hey, Stacy, how you doing? Yes, 80s, Belmont, 1986.
Go to DJ.
Still got the Reeboks. Go to Montego Bay.
I got to be at Key Largo at 4:30. I got 25-cent drinks till 6:30. I'm going to double back to Key Largo. Going to go to DJ's and back with the other place over there.
DJ's Montego Bay, Mary's Husband's Pub, the Tropical.
Listen, don't go home Sunday night. We're going.
Yeah, don't go home early. Still go home on Monday morning. You could be late. Yeah.
Double back.
I got to go to Leggett's. I got a referral.
And next week, we're all going to the house. I'm not getting plans.
And that's it for the summer. But listen, not to get off the subject, Stacy, thank you so much for writing that. I appreciate that. He's working in the movie with Robert De Niro. I mean, every night you get to have dinner with these major stars. Of course, Tommy Lee Jones and holy shit.
Listen,
how do you show up in France just to break balls?
Do something there, and he figured out where his place was. He walked in. It was awesome.
So Robert De Niro was nice to you?
Very nice.
You take some pictures with him?
I took a couple. You know what though? Old school thing. I have trouble like you're working with somebody, and all of a sudden, hey, can I take a picture with you? Some people are better at that than I am. I was enjoying the moment. I did get one picture with him. And I didn't get a picture with Michelle, but she helped me out. Michelle Pfeiffer at the opening made sure that I came over to her. There's a couple pictures online. She gave me a big hug, and she knew to spin me around in all the pictures. So I Getty images and all that. She was really cool about making sure I got my name out there.
So she hooked you up.
She did. She knew it. She knew it because I know what you need. I know what you need. It was great. And Luc Besson, the director, was wonderful to me. I hope everything works out with his current troubles. But he was very, very nice. So it was awesome. Thrill of a lifetime.
What backup? What's his current trouble?
I don't know. He got. I don't know. He might have done. I don't know. Dating some girls he shouldn't be. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, is that right? I'm not really familiar with this director.
I'm not sure. Luc Besson did. He did the Taken movies. He did Lucy. He did a bunch of. He's an international.
All right. So not only are you working with big time actors, he's working with big time directors. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And here he is in the basement on this show, working for a drink from Devotion Vodka. I didn't even pay for it. I get things. So that's really great. How did you feel when you saw De Niro on television going, screw Trump? I mean,
I don't know why, guys. I'm an actor, I'm a comedian, I'm also a dad and a husband, and I live in New Jersey, and I try to make a living. And I have political thoughts, but I don't know. Sometimes I think people should just say, Bob,
shut up. It's none of your business.
Yeah, but
don't be an actor.
But then again, there's issues in the country that sometimes maybe you gotta open them out.
Right.
I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna talk politics. Then you lose half your audience.
So 6 weeks, you're out in France, you're making this movie. You must have been pinching yourself going, how did this happen? This is absolutely out of control.
We were in a mansion built in the 1300s. It was the Nazi control center south of Normandy. And the Nazis controlled the whole thing in the 1940s. But Luke bought it around 20 years ago, and he put in a full recording studio. I think the Rolling Stones recorded there, and a lot of different bands. It was a whole huge estate. It was like 100 acres or something like that. And we would just walk
So
around.
the director actually bought the property?
He did. He bought it, and his house was the part that he lived in. We were in bungalows, and it was awesome. I mean, I'll never forget. I got pictures of that.
I hope you filmed some of this.
Nah, it was before the iPhone thing. Plus, the iPhones don't work out there. You got the regular phone. I was happy to be calling home, you know.
Shit, I wouldn't call home. You know what I would do, though? I'd do my podcast. Like, hey, Bob, hey,
You would.
gotta be on the cast. Let's go. Let's talk.
You would do
Me and you, I got questions.
7 hours.
That is just fantastic.
Cool.
You worked on a lot of movies.
I
Recently, he's working on the TV show on HBO, The Deuce. Tell us about
I
that.
just worked Friday with James Franco. I play John Gotti's henchman. With a guy named Robert DiBernardo, who ran the whole porn business in the country for years. And me and James Franco had a scene. I can't take photos and let you say exactly what on, but I had the scene with James Franco, and it was awesome.
Did you say to James Franco, listen, I worked with De Niro. This is really not that big a deal.
I said,
Calm down, James. Did you say, hey, did
You
you
said, how do I get on? I said, I will make it happen for you.
Well, tell James Franco, once I have De Niro on the show, then I'll call him. I got to do De Niro
So
first.
that time.
Well, listen,
I just did the Gotham. Gotham.
Gotham.
That aired 2 weeks ago. That was cool. I played the old-time detective. And, I'm in the first minute, and something crazy happens. I won't tell you. You gotta watch it online.
All right, so we got to watch Gotham. Everybody out there, you got to watch Jimmy on Gotham. You got to watch him on The Deuce. I know you're also friends with a fellow entertainer who's going to come on the show later on. Gary Pastore is going to be with us.
Great guy.
So we're all friends with Gary, and he's friends with Gary, and he's also going to be on the show, and I hope Gary even knows about that. Gary and I are going to go down to the Garden State Film Festival March 29, 30, and 31 because we both have some projects that are going to be screening. So maybe you'll join us too. But now tell us about working with another celebrity who I actually feel very sorry about. I know you feel sorry about too. And, maybe you're really good friends with him. I'm an acquaintance, a fellow entertainer. I was lucky enough to be on his talk show. I was lucky enough to be on stage with him. And I'll never forget him giving me one of the greatest compliments of all in my career, because when I was on his show, he said, he sells out shows because he's on Stern. You sell out shows because you're hilarious. And I'm like, thank you. I really appreciate that. And of course, we're talking about
Artie Lang.
Artie Lang. All right. So Artie Lang is also an acquaintance of mine, great stand-up comedian. We all know, love Jersey guy. In fact, you guys used to do that show called Two Jerks from Jersey. I remember that. So tell us what happened. I mean, what's going on?
Listen, Artie's a real long time. I met Artie in 1989. We started out in showbiz together, and Artie had tremendous success. Listen, it's well documented. Artie had some drug problems, and he was on Stern for a while. But one of the things I like to tell people is, Artie was on TV shows and stuff before he got on Howard Stern.
That's right. Yeah.
Then he got on Howard Stern. Then he started to stand up, matched with doing Stern show, and he became really good stand up. Selling out shows. But he got some personal demons. He got involved with drugs, and it got progressively worse. But I will tell you that Artie's in rehab, and he's doing fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's sober. And I don't know anything about when he'll be back in the public eye, but it'll be relatively soon. And he's doing really, really well, and I'm proud of him. And I can't wait to see him soon. So.
Well, it's great news, and you know what? I know what the fans, my fans would like. I know what his fans would like. You see people writing good news, and it is good news because what we're talking about
Artie's
with Artie. He's a good guy. Some of us get caught up in some things that you can't get out of, but got to hang around with the right people. So, Artie Lang, Mike Marino, Jimmy Palumbo on tour. I mean, come on. We're going to hurt people. We're going to hurt people.
My name at the top. Even though I can't.
You could do whatever you want.
So I'll be opening. I want my name.
You know what?
Palumbo, that sounds better than
Palumbo.
Lang, he's only half. I'm only half. You're half Italian too, right?
No, I'm a full-blooded Italian. Both parents.
Irish cop.
Yeah, and he plays cops, and I don't. I don't get it.
Artie's half Italian, but his last name
Is he? I didn't even know he was half Italian.
His mother.
All right, so we got a half German and half Italian, and we're gonna have half the Irish guy and a half Italian, and I'll come out at the end and sweep.
I'll do 8 minutes, and then you guys can be co-headliners.
One of the funniest shows I think I've ever seen with you was when we were doing some show. It was a charity. We were raising money for some organization. You put the whole thing together, but you had just bought a new house, and you started talking about this particular bug that comes.
People don't understand these things.
Well, say the name of the bug. Cave cricket.
They're like mini frogs. These back legs. They're not like the crickets. They don't hurt you, but they come to get thousands. I lost my mind. I had like 3,000 of these things. I'm sucking them up with the vacuum. And then I called the guy in the house. I said, "This is no good." And he's like, "Well, I'll put this." No. Burn the house down. Fill the basement with cement. I don't want cave crickets in my life because they jump at you. They're blind. They don't bite. They can't hurt you. They're nothing. Like cockroaches. They jump at you. That's their defense. So I'm getting these cave crickets jumping at me. I'm trying to hit them with the tennis racket. But they're thick. They got like behind legs that come over. Google cave crickets. You lose your mind.
I remember when you were doing that bit about the cave crickets, people were laughing hysterically because I didn't know what you were saying. You kept going, cave cricket, cave cricket. I'm like, what the hell is a cave cricket?
There's a bunch of different names for what they call cave crickets. Creepy thing. I thought it was in a horror film. I felt like Sigourney Weaver, an alien.
It was one of the funniest shows I've ever seen you do. And I thought it was so funny because it looked like you were just making it up as you were going along. You were so aggravated that you bought this place and it came with a cave cricket. Look, you're getting a question right over here. Did you ever hang out at the Arrow Lounge?
Right down the street. We used to go see the Southern Cross Band.
Yeah, I don't remember no.
Then it became Club
Malibu.
Club Malibu.
Yeah.
I shot a video there, a rock video. I played the bass player. I never played the bass player.
I didn't know you were going to say I shot a person.
No, the Arrow Lounge. That's old school. That's some years ago.
We used to go to the Arrow Lounge, and there was a band there. There was a lot of bands there.
Bystander used to play there.
Bystander. And, the guy with the long blonde hair, and he ended up having a lot of videos out. No, I didn't do Southern Rock, but whatever. Twisted Sister. We used to see Twisted Sister there. And then the other guy, celebrity from Scotch Plains, who passed away a couple of years ago, he used to play there too, Smithereens.
Yeah.
Smithereens.
Yeah.
Them guys have Pat Denizio, who's from this town.
Yeah, they were big.
Look at this guy. And then we went to the Roy Rogers after.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't Roy Rogers anymore.
Scared to death of the GWI. I had to drive through 4 towns. Edison to get to You'd be driving home terrified. There was no Uber back then.
Look at this. Hello, my brother. This is John, the printer from Jersey. Mike, where and when is the big show in Jersey this summer? Oh, hey, these guys make my postcards.
Hey, I figure it out. Look, he's trying to get a gig off.
Yeah, but no, hey, listen. My postcards, my posters, my banners, all my work gets done by Advanced Printing on South Avenue in Cranford.
I was going to get postcards that say, maybe I'll call it John. I just wanted to say, Mike Marino's a complete jerk. And then I'll sell them around. And I'll make you sign them.
Sure, whatever. We could make some money. Make a couple extra dollars. But thank you for asking that question. I really appreciate that.
Nervous, Mike, all the jerk.
You can call me a jerk off. That was a sign of affection when we were younger. Yeah. It was like, hey, jerk off, where you going? That meant you wanted me to go with him. Now you call somebody a jerk off, and then you got to call the cops. That's something that I wanted to start doing. I wanted to start bringing back things we said back in the day. You remember douchebag? That was nice. Douchebag, what are you doing? That meant, are you hungry? You want to get something to eat? What else? He's a jadrol.
He was in on the show house. You liked him, but he was a jadrol.
Yeah, he was the other guy. We used to call him Filler. We needed his money. Where is he? He's over there. Keep him over there.
Remember when those guys were back out the last minute?
Look at this guy. 2 jerk-offs right here. What are you talking about?
Absolutely.
What are we going to do? We're older. We got to jerk off. So we're talking about Art and Lang. We're talking about all the celebrities that Jimmy is lucky enough to perform with, from balancing his life as an actor and a stand-up comedian. Wanted to ask him about his love and affection for baseball, because whenever I saw him in California, he was going to softball. I can't make it in a softball game. Then you come back to New Jersey, I can't make it at a softball game. Thank God it's March, otherwise he wouldn't be here.
Well,
He'd have a softball game.
I think it's probably beer league.
That's right.
Ralph Macchio and Artie. And, I did that movie because it was based upon my father's. And this year, my father started the team in '67 with his twin brother, and there was 3 teams under my father's construction company. But 2019 is the last season. I'm packing it in.
Really?
We're too old. We got a couple of young guys, but we decided to do one more year, bring back some of the old guys, bust balls. Last year we made the semifinals.
You're too old for softball?
Yeah, well, we don't play in the over 50 league. I'm in with the young kids. So
why don't you go
I got to drive an hour to get to the game, and you know what?
Why don't you go?
My eyeballs are getting a little crazy. It's time. Go with the over 50. I know, but some of our guys are under 40. But the teams we play, they're 25. Big difference between 25 and 50.
I would play, but I need a pitch runner. Pinch runner.
You can't run.
Somebody run for me.
I
can't fucking run. I waddle now. It's disgusting. Hi, Mel. Hey, Bert. Hey, Mark. Look at this. Jimmy P and Mike Marino. So you guys got to do a Larry David story from Curb. You got one?
Yeah.
Tell us.
I did Curb.
Oh, look out now. Now he works with Larry David. I think I'll go to the bathroom at this particular.
When you do Curb, when you audition for him, it's like you're on the show. The way he is on the show is how he is when you audition for the show. Turns out my father ran a baseball team 1,000 years ago in Corona, Queens, with a guy, and Joe Rizza, was his third baseman. Joe was the guy in the Seinfeld episode with the touching the fruit.
Right.
He was the fruit store owner. So Joe Rizza gets on the phone, but you tell Larry David and going on. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm on the set, and I say, hey, Larry, family friend is Joe Rizza, guy on the fruit stand. Larry stops, starts cursing at me. Oh, that piece of garbage, man. He's screaming loud. The crew people looking at me, I'm like, oh my God. He goes, you imagine I was touching his fruit. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I say? I'm going to get fired from the show. And he stops and goes, oh yeah, I did a whole show about him. How's he doing? Tell him I said what. I was like, oh my God. But doing the show, and then you're on the, I did the stand out with it.
Yeah.
But the director come over, Larry, stare out. Just stare back. Larry likes to string it on you, but it doesn't work. The actor has to know it's coming at some point. So then Larry started to just stare at me, but you don't hear on the show when you watch it. You hear doo 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 doo, but when you're shooting it, nobody's going doo 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 doo. So in your head, I'm like doo 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 doo, and I'm staring back. It was great. It was a great moment. I stared at his ear and his nose.
I wouldn't mind staring at him. No,
He's funny, guy. He's a funny guy. It's a great show.
Look at this guy's writing in turkey sucker, chump, that's 3 slang terms. Oh, is that from what we were saying from before? Turkey. I never called anybody a turkey. Remember that? You
turkey,
jive, turkey, sucker, chump. I think those are terms from a different breed of cat. You know what I mean? No, we used to say chump, but he's a little younger than us. That's Matt Florio. Matt Florio is a great director, a great writer, and a great guy. So thanks, Matt, for writing into the show. See you this weekend when I get back out to Florida. And right now we're getting a little nice something from Laurel DeFilippo. Hi, Mike. Thank you so much for the shout out and sampling our food. Okay.
A lot of Irish people.
She's Italian, DeFilippo. Laurel DeFilippo bought one of the greatest Italian places right on Park Avenue here in Scotch Plains. And it's called Florence Ravioli. Now listen, folks, he's Italian, a lot of Italian people. You don't have to be Italian to love this kind of food. On Park Avenue in this town, Scotch Plains, they have places that have been around for 60, 70 plus years. From the tavern where you go for some drinks and meet some nice folks to John's Meat Market, which is right next door to Florence Ravioli. Now let's suppose you're a guy like me, right? You're by yourself, family's not in the basement anymore, mommy's not down here making the meatballs. What do? Go to Florence Ravioli, get yourself meatballs,
I've never been there.
chicken. We're going to check it out. You can go there for lunch. You can go there for dinner. You could buy yourself a bunch of food for advancement, like later on in the week. Recently I went in there and I bought 5 different dinners to taste, and we were going to have them on the show, but obviously we're not having it on the show because I ate it. I ate this stuff. I did. I'm sorry. I had the meatballs. I had fresh bread, nice Thai bread. Do you remember bread that was round like a circle? It's called pizza bread. A catcher's mitt. It looks like it looks like an old-fashioned catcher's mitt from the 40s. Yes, it was the best effing bread. Well, they still got it, and they got great bread down there. And then you get the dinners that you want. So I had broccoli gabardine, I had raviolis, I had manicottis, and then I had chicken, lemon chicken, and all different kinds of dishes. You can get whatever you want, and of course you can get party trays and the whole 9 yards. And also you can get Florence Ravioli drinks like sodas, the old school sodas, cream soda, orange soda, shit like that. It's the best. We're gonna go. We can go to. Yeah, I want to do my podcast live from their place because it's so old school, like the basement. And then John's Meat Market is also old school, like down in the basement. You see guys in there cutting the meat, and hanging out, and saying crazy things. It's a great place. We got to go there. We're gonna go there together. So, talking some sports with Jimmy Palumbo. Now, he's a big sports fan. He watches old television. He wants to talk about Yankees. I didn't even bring it up. We didn't even get out of football yet. He's already on to this whole baseball. But
I have no problem with that. The Yankees are going to be tough, but the Red Sox are real good.
Yeah. So that's what you're thinking for this coming spring?
I think the Yankees are going to give the Red Sox a little run. The Red Sox are stacked. They're good.
It's always fun to see the Red Sox and the Yankees play, isn't it?
I want them both to be real good again. They're both good. They were good last. Yankees won 100 games. They got like 2 or 3 hits in that Red Sox. Won the series.
Hey, here comes your questions now. What do you think about the Giants?
I think the Giants. Well, I think the Giants are going to get a lot of draft picks. They're going to start all over. I guess Eli's going to play one more year, and then we got to get a quarterback in there. But we may not be that bad next year.
Think he's going to play again?
I think Eli. They just gave him $5 million as a signing fee, so he's got to play one more.
Well, yeah, I guess.
But I think the Giants get a lot of draft picks, and they may make some moves before the draft. So we'll see. But listen, the Giants have stunk for the last 5 years. Beckham's record of the Giants were awful. So we got to start all over. Eventually, Eli's got to go. We got to get a new young kid quarterback. I don't want to turn into the Jets. No quarterback, you don't win ever. So, but Beckham, he's not a guy. He's a pain in the ass.
Well,
good player though.
Also, one of our
picks for him, though.
superstar, famous players in the sports world. I was watching in the news, and it's kind of funny. You see these celebrity sports figures your whole life, especially when you're a kid growing up watching them, and all of a sudden they're in the news for doing something wrong. There's a lot of them. There's more of them now than ever was.
Every time
they come out of nowhere.
Sports alert.
Well, we're talking about Lenny Dykstra.
Lenny got he's been in trouble now for a while.
Yeah.
He's had some trouble at Clark over there. That's another story. But
he lives in Clark?
He lives in Linden, but he's involved with something at Clark that he's in the papers for catching for. So.
See, now
Lenny looks like you're up to, as my aunt would say, you're doing wrong things.
Well, when you watch him in the news, he just looks like a drug addict doing some bad shit, and they need to make a movie about him or something like that.
He looks a little shingad.
Shingad, that's another word. He's a little shingad. You got to do this with your hand. We're making hand gestures for you who are just listening to the show. But, yeah, it's amazing how that all happened. And you're looking at these classic stars from back in the day, and they have a big fall from grace. Even the other day I was watching
good old guys. Like Goodman, Strawberry, they just think okay.
Yeah.
Now people are raping people, they're dating 9-year-olds. Why can't you just get arrested for doing coke?
A little cold.
Be with a hooker. That's like old school. Yeah. And then you get in trouble, they release you. Now you get in trouble with money. You're doing drugs that no one even knows what they are. Makes me crazy. Yeah,
and so many of these, even these singing stars and these actors are just blowing it. I mean, what did you think about this The actor who just caused all that fake see, we really don't even care, but
why would you do that?
I know.
Like I fake that I'm on my show. That's how I fake that. And I'm gonna get a lot of trouble because maybe it's not me.
This is gonna be in the news. Somebody called TMZ.
TMZ.
Yes, it was a murder. Alive from my mother's basement.
That's it.
Isn't it amazing when you think about that? This was a thriving place to be when I was a kid.
Right.
There wasn't a night, there wasn't a bunch of kids down there. And where'd everybody go? Wow.
You're a single guy. You should be loaded with it.
Yeah, right.
What am I going to do? I'll be like one of the couches over there.
And you have a daughter, right?
Daughter, she's 10 years old.
10.
Had my 11-year anniversary on Friday. We're moving my mother out of Colonia. Very sad. We're packing up the house now. And we're moving her to a nice place.
So that's just the future of everybody's life. You know, we were talking about this before we started tonight's broadcast. Because Jimmy's looking around my house and he's seeing all the memorabilia from the cash register that my grandfather used when he was making shoes back in Italy to the pots and pans that my mother used. All the memorabilia you could look at to the ceiling.
He's got his first joke written down. He ever wrote.
Yep.
He's got a napkin from Key Largo.
I do. This is Montego Bay right here, baby. Look. I got everything.
It said one of your parties, surf.
Oh, yeah.
Surf
yeah, the Shore House. 86, 88, all the good days. We're doing a lot of stuff with that, too. I can't really reveal what's going on, but I'm making a documentary about the good old days, the real Shore House, 1986 to 96. Yeah. If you don't go there by 4 o'clock, you're going to be in line, and I ain't coming out to get you. Dude, look. These red Reeboks are the sneakers I wore when we went there. And this is my headband from Montego Bay. You got to keep all of this stuff.
I used to go to Mary's husband's pub. You weren't a Mary's husband.
No, I really wasn't.
Turtle races.
I went for the turtle races. That's it. I went for turtle races at that bar when I was too young to go in that bar. I was like 14.
The most fun I've ever had.
You brought your own turtle.
They race turtles.
They
race turtles, and if you want like a free drink. It was great.
Wow. Yeah, I miss all that stuff.
Back in the day.
Let me ask you a question. Does your daughter have the acting bug?
She's dancing. She's a dancer.
All right.
She does really well with that. We go to competitions on the weekends. No, she doesn't have the acting bug now, but she can be a little bit of a ham when she, so maybe when she gets older. I didn't want her to do it. When she gets older, I'll let her. Maybe.
How about you? How old were you when you got bit by the bug? You said, listen, I'm going into showbiz.
I didn't get into it. I was selling computers in Princeton, New Jersey. Some lady, a woman 8 months pregnant, smoking a cigarette, came in. I busted her balls. She says, I'm doing a show in Princeton. A little sketch show. I want you to do it. I did it just for, shits and giggles. I did the show, and then I got the bug. But I always had a little bug because of my brother's senior year in high school, 1978. I was only 13. They did Heaven Can Wait. And the kid who played the buddy with the horn in the show, he's an Italian kid. He was so funny in it. I said, I think I could do that. I can do that. But I kept it in. I didn't want to tell anybody. I didn't even want to do a mic play when I was in high school. And then I got out. I got the bug, got the backstage. I did it old school, backstage. I got my headshots done. Photos by Larry, $75. And I started auditioning for all the backstage NYU, and I had no paying job success. And I felt like I can do this. I didn't know the difference between a paying job and a non-paying job. And then a year and a half later, Artie and I were both signed by William Morris with photos by Larry. So anybody tells you without your headshots, you're nothing, that's close.
Well, you don't even need headshots anymore.
No,
now you just need
on the computer.
Now you just need social media.
Yeah, you don't even have to show up. That's why I don't even audition anymore. I just stay in my room and somehow. No, believe me.
Well, he works with big people like De Niro.
No, I audition for every gig.
He gets phone calls direct. You're booked. Let's do some quick shout outs to your fans right here. Say hello to Crazy Hab fan. How you doing? It's nice to see you.
Hey, what's happening?
La Petite Coin, Europa. Ciao, Paisan. How are you too? And this is Lori. Any beer league fans? Right in right now. This is Lori Sternberg. She's a trainer. If anybody's looking to get trained, old school.
I'm on a diet.
He's on a diet.
17 pounds.
Tell us about this. I mean, I really would like to lose a little weight too. In fact, this is what happened.
You look good.
Well, the other day I went to the emergency room Sunday because I just got back from doing a tour. I don't know what the fuck it was I ate. Shit, I just cursed on my show. I don't know what I ate, but all of a sudden, under the rib, I feel this pain. And I'm like, that's it. I got diverticulitis. I'm going back to the emergency room. So my buddy picks me up, Emilio, and takes me over to the emergency room. They stick me full of blood testings and shit and said that I'm fine. Today, I called my primary care physician in California to ask him about a scan I had 2 weeks ago because I had something wrong with my liver. And he calls me up and says, your liver's fine, but you got gallstones.
Yeah.
You might start experiencing pain under your right rib. And I'm like, I just was in. And he goes, well, you should have told him to take it out. And don't you think right now, a friend of mine, pizza guy who owns a pizza place, Carmine Testa, is just saying how he went to get his gallbladder taken out. You don't need it.
You don't need a gallbladder.
But why do we have it if we don't need it?
Well, you gotta have some gall. But once you get when you
wait a minute, replay. That is hilarious. You gotta have some gall. You gotta gall. You remember when your mother would say that? The gall on this prick. We gotta
gall.
You got some gall. You know what? We gotta bring that back. That would be really, really fun. The gall. We're bringing back gall. Gabagool and gall. That's a very sexy thing he just said. Now I'm going to steal that joke. You really should say that again. He just said.
Get a little scungil of a nice brush.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Lori Sternberg, I miss you. I'm going to be in Jersey for a couple weeks. I promise I'll give you a call, see if I can't come train. But Jimmy's going to tell us about a diet that he's on, and I want to do it too.
Basically, you can find. You gotta eat every 2.5 hours. These little bars, these other little biscuits, and then you get one meal, full meal, beef, chicken, with vegetables, but no oils, no butter, no bread, none of that. I've been dieting now 17, 18 days. I lost about 17 pounds.
See, that's unbelievable. Now, I would like to lose that much weight myself, but how do you tell an Italian person not to have bread? How can you not have bread? I have bread for breakfast. I have bread in my sleep. I have bread.
Listen, I look like a young Blue Powell. There's a reference for you.
Last time I saw you was at Lincoln Park Firehouse in Jersey. Danny C. was the MC, Gonzo the coach, and Bad Boy was the headliner. Well, thank you very much. What a great night. Thank you, Craig. I really appreciate that. And the next time you see me do stand-up, you're going to see Jimmy Palumbo on the show as well. We're going to make that happen because we're having a lot of fun. And I'm going to lose weight. He's going to lose weight. We're going to look so good on stage. You're going to think we're in our 20s. No more belly busters. How could you not eat? When I come to New Jersey, I blow up in seconds.
Remember, there's a place in Madison.
Belly buster? Taylor ham. He says Taylor ham. I said pork roll. Pork roll, egg, and cheese. In fact, I had 2 of them this morning, and I got them at Quick Check. There's a Quick Check right here in Scotch Plains. I'm like telling you, this is the place to be. Go in there at 7 o'clock in the morning for breakfast. They're playing disco music. Everybody's in there dancing. You're getting your coffee, you're getting your pork roll, egg, and cheese, and you're happy the whole day. I swear to God, I went in there, were playing Saturday Night Fever. I'm like, who's better than us? And these guys are all going out to do construction. I'm going back to bed. Right? So you haven't had none of it, huh?
Give you, fill you up. And pizza I eat out for you. I had to try this over here.
Well, you know, when you're in your 30s like us, you really got to watch what you're doing.
Plus, there was this, you had IPA beers, and then you had raviolis and this, and portion control.
You know, I never even knew it was Capricola till I moved to California. I thought that was really called gabagool. I didn't even know how to spell it.
When you went to a deli, you didn't know how to spell it. You said gabagool. I gave it to you. It wasn't until you were out shopping for yourself at the supermarket. And you're like, I don't see gabagool. I talked to a G.
Yeah.
And then you see this Capricola, and like, wait, it looks the same though.
Capricola. I always would say I need some gabagool, and then we don't have it. I'm like, oh man. Is it? I never liked those cookies. I was an Anisette cookie guy.
Anisette
cookie, and you only get them from one place,
Joseph Anthony,
Celadoro.
Shout out to your mother.
Celadoro. There's cookie. See, now I'm hungry. Now I'm hungry. Now what are we going to do?
Candy bar that has nutrients.
See, if I had this candy bar, I'd dip it in the gravy. Hey.
I cheated yesterday. St. Patty's Day, I'm half Irish.
Oh.
I went, I ate only protein. I did good, but I was dying for a piece of bread.
Oh. See, that's what I miss about being down here in the basement. Every Sunday growing up, my mother was in that corner, stuck over there. Who's calling?
Shout out to my neighbor, Michelle, my old neighbor.
Where do you see Michelle?
My current neighbor, where my mother lives. Yeah.
Marie Peasy?
Michelle Soika right there.
Hey, Marie Pizza. Michelle
Soika
Torres. Wow, that's one hell of a name. Say
Right
hello.
across the street from my mother.
Thanks for watching the show, Michelle.
Polonia's in the house.
Look at this guy, Brian. Capricola sounds like an Italian horoscope sign. Yeah, right? Well, you, I'm Aquarius. How about you? I'm Gabagool.
And the horoscope says you're going to be a fat bastard.
Yeah. Now give me my money.
I was a Taurus, but I became a Gabagool.
He was a Taurus. Now he's just a bull.
That would be a funny thing. Italian horoscope.
Nothing like writing bits.
Very fun. February 6th, you're a Gabagool. And then you become a brother lover. Then you become a Scoggio. Then you label everybody.
A mortadella. Mortadella. How hungry are we right now? I need to go to Florence Ravioli and break in right now because it's after hours. Imagine that. Mike Marino got caught robbing an Italian deli. 8 o'clock at night. What did he take? Gabagool. But he took $400 worth. He's doing 2 months in jail, hard labor. I don't even know how to say that in regular, in American.
I can't even spell it. I know like the rule, I think in Italian means soft, leafy vegetable. When a vegetable goes bad, it's Sotrulio or something.
Is that what that was?
But there's a J.
I always thought
the dialects, the poor people say, Gabagool. Proper Italian, they don't say Gabagool. That's like half Italian meets America meets the half, you know, that kind of.
Well, no, my mother, who was, you know, right off the boat, her and her brothers and sisters, they all had that slang. And yes, they used to say that it was definitely a dialect that was confusing to a lot of people. Because when I did go to Italy and I was in Rome, I would say, you know, where's the gabagool? And they were like, you mean capricola, right? Yeah, so we're a little.
By the way, it's not Italy, it's Italy.
Yeah. Italy.
We're going to Italy. And then you got to say, I'm going overseas.
Look at this.
I'm going overseas.
Here's your fan mail.
Who's this?
You guys are great. I'm getting my ab exercise from last.
Nice. People working on their abs.
Yep.
I haven't seen my abs in quite some time. Yeah, looking if I can see my toes.
Folks, we're doing this show at least twice a week. I'm calling it live from my mother's basement. No matter where I go around the world, I've done this show from Cuba. I've done this show from Chicago. I've done this show from Florida and all around the world. One of my favorite places to do it is naturally right here in the actual basement that my mother taught me and my brothers how to grow up old school Italian. We were talking about how the stove is over in the corner.
Awesome.
And every Sunday, that sauce or gravy, whatever the hell it is that you call it.
Pots and pans over there.
Pots and pans.
Pots and pans.
Flying.
Imagine if they did like, what's that?
Yeah.
Like an Italian, if you do an Italian animated movie, only the pots and pans. They got a vein over there, and then you have all your big pasta pies.
It fan mail. Glad to see you feeling better. Yeah, thank you so much, Rosemary. Appreciate that. Debbie, it's nice to see you. You're right. All this stuff would be great. It'd be a great cartoon. So, folks, let's get a nice big shout out from Jimmy Palumbo on where we can find him in the future. So if you give us all your social media.
JimmyPalumbo.com. Do the show actually. South Plainfield.
Tell us.
You couldn't do it. Me and Joseph Anthony are doing a show there. And I'm going to be doing a show at Scotty's Cove in Springfield. I don't have the exact date yet. Hopefully I'll have that soon. And like I said, I'm going to be on Gotham. I'm going to be on The Deuce. I'm going to be in a movie called Holiday Rush. We shoot that on Tuesday. And I'm going to be, I did some voices on a new animated film called Pinocchio. That's kind of cool. I'm on Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I'm in episode 2 of that, season 2 of that. I think it's episode 6. It's recurring, they say. We'll see what happens. I know they say that, but recurring in Latin means never to be found again.
I recurred on a lot of shows, and every time I recurred, the show was canceled.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when I went on Party of Five. You're booked for 6 episodes, and it was canceled in 2.
There you go. I've been there.
Well, listen, plug that one more time. Jimmy Palumbo.
JimmyPalumbo.com. I got a Facebook fan page. Jimmy Palumbo fan page. That's about it, really.
Well, we're going to look into where Jimmy's going and what he's doing right here live on Mike Marino, live from my mother's basement. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching today's show. Remember, you can listen to us all the time now, continually, once again, on Facebook Live right here. It's going to go on my website. It's also going to go on MikeMarino.net, which is my website. We're right over here on Instagram.
Hi, Natalie.
Oh, is that right? Oh, are they writing in? Say it again. Hello to the Palumbo family. Where? Hi, Jimmy.
That's
I
my
can't
sister.
get the.
I'll do it, man. Watch.
Hey, Mary.
I'll do
How
it
are
for you. Ready?
Nice
My
to
sister.
see you. Oh, man, they should have been watching this show. Well, you can watch it in reruns. It's still going to be there. It's going to be there for a long time, and it's going to get added to a bunch of different shows and a bunch of different groups. So it'll hit about maybe 10 to 15,000 people in the next couple of hours who are going to watch this show again. You can listen to us on ddvradio.com every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Again, that's www.ddvradio.com every Thursday night at 8 o'clock.
And you can also see us on gabagool.net.
Gabagool.net.
And jadrul.org. So it's a society for the
Jadrul.com. You have to have a special internet.
Because a lot of jadruls are being,
You got to be connected. You got to know somebody. And then you're going to definitely listen to us on ItalianAmericanRadio.com, SoundCloud, BroccoliRob.com.
I'm gonna make it sound like
Ayoya is with oil,
right?
So it's broccoli gavadil. My mother would say broccoli and.
How would your mother say it?
Wait, the correct pronunciation is broccoli and cafatelli in oil. Okay. My mother would say. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I forgot. Gavadils. Broccoli gavadil. Ay. You had to yell too. Broccoli gavadil. Ay. Don't be late. Your father's gonna kill you. And okay, SoundCloud. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Look us up on iTunes.
AJ, how you doing?
Now they're watching the show. You got to watch it in repeats. This is going to keep on going all day long. All right, we've been talking for an hour. We got to go. Listen, folks, if you also want to find out where I'm performing, don't forget, go to MikeMarino.net and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, MikeMarino.net. Make America Italian again. Remember, you don't know nothing, you didn't see nothing, you don't say nothing. And how do we end every single one of our broadcasts? By always saying the same thing. I don't know what to say. Okay? So how do we end every single broadcast? We always say the same thing. Don't take no shit from nobody. Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm going to have a lot of great guests on the show in the future. So if you like it, hit like. You could also leave a comment. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch other funny videos. And you could also listen to my podcast on your favorite podcast app like Spotify and iTunes.